Have you ever heard about the happy hormones? Do you know what these are? You chicken, you've heard this before. Anyone else? All right, here we go. Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins. Serotonin is that calm, that sense of peace, or a reduction anxiety in anxiety that you might know or feel. Think about that tranquility or calm after a good jog or some vigorous exercise, more of which I need. But right, think about that experience, right? You know that moment? That's a serotonin high. Dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good hormone, and it's the hormone that saturates our brain when we experience pleasure or some type of reward or excitement. Social media is programmed to elicit this dopamine response. Have you ever experienced, I've heard the phrase, doom scrolling? Where you get stuck on your favorite social media app and you just keep scrolling, and every new image, every new page, every new video, you get a tiny little hit of dopamine, and so it can become compulsive and even for a few addictive. This is dopamine. Whenever we experience those wonderful things, that's what's going on in our brain. Oxytocin. Did you ever get that great hug from grandma? You know, where you get the tingly, warm, fuzzy feeling. That's oxytocin. It's the hormone directly supporting the bond between a mother and her child, the hormone of trust or empathy or compassion. That's what oxytocin does. Endorphins. This is our body's natural painkiller. Whenever we experience discomfort, our body will respond with endorphins. I sometimes say that I eat my feelings. Have you ever heard that phrase before? Right? I need more serotonin after exercise and less endorphins after eating. Why? Because when we eat, we get endorphins, an experience of comfort and pleasure that comes with not just eating, but exercise and even physical intimacy. And so we can sometimes self-medicate through these happy hormones. I share this with you because I wonder at times if our culture hasn't trained us, especially those of you who are young. So much of the way our culture is structured, the way that our experience of communication and media and life is structured, it is something to do with this manipulation of the happy hormones. And too often, the pursuit of happy hormones is what our world calls love. We talk about love in these distorted ways. Every song, every movie, every image seems to mislabel love as little more than chasing a happy hormone. The hookup culture has nothing to do with love, and yet everything to do with the happy hormones. The compulsive behavior of social media or pornography or any of the other things that saturates our brain with the happy hormones has nothing to do with love, and yet somehow that word gets thrown in the mix too often. So what is love? It's all that our readings are talking about today. For God is love. The second reading from the first letter of St. John is saying, and then Jesus continues this beautiful dialogue about love. Love, I love you as the Father loved me. My commandment to you is go and love one another as I have loved you. This profound ode to love, but it's not what we think. It's got nothing to do with chasing after pleasure, enjoyment, contentment, or calm. It's nothing to do with the happy hormones. Rather, it's something to do with what is much deeper. moments? Those precious few moments where deep within yourself there are dreams or aspirations or the most noble purposes coming forward. Do you know those moments in life where you dare to aspire to a life of greatness, not a life defined by the hollow and shallow values of our world? No. Do you know those moments I'm talking about? Because I know you. I've seen them in you. Many of you have told me about this. I see how you struggle to seek out this life of noble purpose, this life of great worth, this life of great service. Do you know those moments? Are you in touch with that experience, that deepest longing, that most lofty of hope for what your life could mean? That is the love that Jesus calls you to. He says in the midst of this great soliloquy of love, he says, I'm saying this to you so that your joy may be complete, so that my joy may be in you. The joy of living so as to give your life away in a great purpose. The joy of giving your life away for your brothers and sisters. The joy of giving your life away so as to make the world better, so as to live not for the trappings of the world, not seeking the happy hormones of yet another TikTok or yet another empty brown cardboard box, not the hollow promise of the world that says you'll be happy once you reach this bank account, you'll be happy once you get this goal, you'll be happy. No, you won't be. You'll yet still be more hollow. The joy you long for, the joy that almost never has the ability to see the light of day, that bubbles up deep within you, is the joy to answer the call that Christ gives to all of us today. And yet, we're really well rehearsed in excuses why we can't do it. I love the stories of the Old Testament. Samuel, this is 1 Samuel chapter 3. Samuel's a young man studying under Eli in the temple. And he doesn't know what God's voice sounds like. He's sleeping. And he hears a quiet voice, Samuel. Samuel. He's confused. He doesn't know. He gets up and goes to Eli. Eli, are you calling me? Eli doesn't even know what he's talking about. No, I'm not calling you. Go back to bed. 3 times. Finally, Eli says, next time you hear someone calling your voice, it won't be me. I think I know who it is. I think I've got an idea. I believe, I hope, I've got this dream with you. Samuel, if you hear your voice called, your name called yet again, this is what I want you to do. Say these words. Speak. I'm listening. When you hear that voice deep within calling your name, I want you to imitate Samuel. I want you to put into practice the wisdom of Eli and say, when you feel the noble purpose bubbling up from the depths of who you are, speak, Lord, I hear your voice, I'm listening. And we got to fight our temptations to oppose that voice. Because, you know what? I don't know. I keep asking people to read this, right? And I don't know if you've done it, but I love the examples in here. So Abraham was 99 years old when God called Abraham's name. Show of hands, who here is younger than 99? All right, you got no excuses. There's no retirement age for God. What about Jeremiah? Jeremiah chapter 2. Oh, Lord, don't call me, Jeremiah says. I'm too young. Abraham was too old. Jeremiah thinks he's too young. God says, no, you're not too young. I've called you. When I call someone, I know what I'm doing. I will be with you to guide you. Moses, the great Moses, even he's making excuses. I don't know if you've ever read Exodus chapter 4. It's filled with his excuses. The greatest excuse is this, but Moses said to the Lord, oh Lord, no, I can't do this. I have never been eloquent. Not in the past. I was never good with words in the past, nor even now that you're talking to me. I don't know how to speak well. I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. I'm slow of mind. I'm not the guy you want. And God gets angry at Moses. Am I not calling you? Am I not the one who is giving you what you have? Isn't it me who's calling you? Don't say I'm not able to speak. I know what your limitations are. I'll work with them. How about even St. Paul? 2 Corinthians chapter 12. St. Paul is just overwhelmed with emotion. He's wrestling with his own vocation. And he says this, I'm not worthy. A thorn in the flesh was given to me. An angel of Satan. I've got tormenting me night and day. I beg Jesus, please, I'm not worthy. I can't do this. I've got this flesh thing going on. We don't know. I'm guessing he's talking about a struggle with sin, right? I've got this fleshy sin thing going on, and I can't get rid of it. I can't let it go. It's beating me. I'm too weak. What does Jesus say? My power is made perfect in your weakness. I know what you're struggling with. I know what you can't let go. I know what's going on. I'm still going to be strong through your weakness. Or maybe the greatest of all, Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6. He sees this incredible vision. God in the throne room of heaven, with angels ministering to God, singing, Holy, 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 Lord God of hosts. We sing that at Mass every Sunday. And Isaiah cries out and says, oh no, oh dear, I'm in trouble. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm a person with unclean lips, living with people of unclean lips. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but he's basically saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Pick somebody else. And an angel overhears him. An angel comes to him and touches Isaiah and says, see, I am making you clean. I am making you worthy. I am making you good enough. I am purifying you. I know what your limits are. I know the struggles, but you've yet still heard the voice. And the moment that happens, Isaiah hears God's voice more clearly than before. Isaiah hears God mid-sentence. God says, who will go for us? Who can we send? And overcome Isaiah, without knowing what the mission is, without knowing what God is planning, without knowing what the future will hold, without knowing whether his unclean lips will return, without knowing anything, Isaiah cries out, here I am, send me. I don't know what the future holds. Here I am, Lord. I don't know if I'm good enough. I suspect I'm not. Here I am, Lord. Maybe I'm too old. Here I am, Lord. Maybe I'm too young. Here I am, Lord. Maybe I'm still struggling with this sin problem. Here I am, Lord. God's calling. Because the joy you seek, the love you long to live, is not found in the empty promises or the measures of superficial success that this world has. You won't find it there. All you will find is yet still greater hunger, greater thirst, greater longing for what will not fill your heart. The love that you long for is the love of giving your life away in service to others. Your noble purpose is seeking for joy. Not for the promise of yet another empty brown cardboard box or more scrolling on social media. None of that will fill you. What will truly give your life meaning and purpose, the joy you seek, the joy Christ longs to give to you, is to listen to that voice of God Give your life away. Lay your life down. No matter what the cost, no matter what the obstacle, no matter the reason that you're not ready. No greater love, no greater joy. This is my joy I give to you. This is the peace I give to you that the world cannot give. No greater love, no greater life than this. And to give your life